Hey guys, it's Bryce here. I'd just like to apologize right off the bat in advance because I didn't post anything for the last month of March. Um, I had some other obligations to attend to, not just external to the shop, but also here, which I'm starting to get sorted, but I'll still have a little bit more to do with my other car too. I'm just sorting out the last thing. I'll get to that here in a second. Really, the only thing I think that I haven't posted that I did get time to do was start cleaning up the passenger side flare here, which, it still needs a little bit of work, but it's getting there. I'm going to have to make something to help blend this together a little better for when that door closes too. You can see I got this gap here because it's supposed to follow a certain measurement I took of like how thick it is, how thin it tapers down to the outside, and how thick it tapers out to once it hits the body. So I gotta put something in there to kind of, fill that or get that flush and just looking decent. I don't know if I really even want to cut this and then try to bend it up. I think that's probably going to come out worse than if I just made something that would kind of sit flush in here and kind of fill in that gap. But that's going to be, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because down here I got a decent amount of gap. Up here it kind of thins out. So I don't know. We'll see when I get to it. When I get to it, if I get freaking time. But no, I got pretty much everything on this car good. The last thing I'm doing right now is that it's been having a limp mode issue, which I have a scan tool. Let me show you guys that fancy thing. I don't even know if it's going to throw a code right now. It's intermittent. Only does it when it's cold. So really the only two things I can think of are electrical or hydraulic. Let me see if I can open this dang thing. I'll show you guys that old DRBII scan tool, since not a lot of people have them. And I guess give you a general idea of how it works. Maybe I'll throw the battery on real quick too to see if I can. Let me not drop my stuff. There we go. Come on. She's being stubborn right now. Maybe not her being stubborn, maybe more that I just got stuff all over the place. So it's not really the car, it's me. My shop's a mess. I did clean it up quite a bit last night too, because I got tired of spending 10 minutes every time I had to look for something. And when you've been on like a 3-day streak of trying to fix something, the same thing, that gets pretty old. That helps tally up the time when your stuff's not organized and you can't find nothing. So anyways, that's off, so I'm not going to worry about that. I just set it somewhere where it won't arc nothing out. But basically, let me see, hold on, we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. I'm going to show you guys how this DRBII works. But also, here's one of the other things I was doing for all the work on my other car. It's basically going to be a bumper for something else. Not either of these cars. Neither of these cars. It's for one of my other ones. So, that thing is, you can see I still got to clean it up, everything else. I don't know if I'm going to make that. That thing's probably going to be a mall crawler. It ain't ever going to see dirt, dude. Only dirt it sees is a freaking job site. But also had a buddy move. Thanks to Ron. I appreciate the fridge and the microwave. Still haven't used it yet, but I'm gonna. I'm getting there. Let me see. Let me see what I got in here. Where in the hell? So, let me see. Set this down here. Don't mind all my Red Bulls. That's a very healthy habit, might I add. Very healthy habit, all those Red Bulls every day. So to get to it, with this thing, I had to go through some wiring, do some stuff. I had to go through the wiring, check the stuff for the seat here. I can't remember what it was that I had to fix on this. It was, I don't even remember what it was, dude. I'm pretty sure it was something dumb, because I didn't have to pull any more wiring through. So when I got this car, it was wired from the factory for the driver's side power seats. So it was easy putting in this interior for the driver's side, all that other stuff for that power seat. But the passenger side didn't have anything. So all that, I basically looked up what the factory, would have done for the wiring to run it all through. Or at least what they did for the wires themselves. And obviously you have to run all that down through here. And then it goes under the seat, yada, yada, yada. And then you run some of it back up to the switch here. And then there's also a switch for the recline on the side there too. So that wasn't too bad, because that's pretty much on the seat. It was all just running it through this door jamb in here, through this little like flexible conduit type deal. But yeah, I don't even remember what happened. It might have been something dumb, like something was unplugged and whatnot. And then I had to fix the recline on the driver's side. But with this, let's see, I think I talked about the limp mode issue. But anyways, yeah, it had a limp mode issue, intermittent, only likes doing it mostly when it's cold. Sometimes it'll do it when it's hot. So I'm kind of wondering, I don't really know for sure if it's hydraulic or electric. And with the OBD1, it doesn't really tell you too much. It's just like, hey, this circuit's fucked, or something's not acting right, So basically for this DRBII, to show you guys, this is like old school Chrysler stuff. You could find scan tools a lot cheaper that'll do pretty much anything that this will, except for like resetting factory, or like resetting codes, most codes anyways. And my box, you can see, isn't in the best of shape. There's actually, for this car, there are different plugs for different cars, but for this one, if you want to scan anything with the transmission or the body control module, you're going to be using this one here, this 6-pin plug. And that is going to be right down in there, if you can see it, maybe. It's basically like right under your parking brake release there. And you get your scan tool, and the good old Chrysler DRBII. I got really lucky with this one too, because I got I actually got both wires for it. So I got the one, there's a separate connector you plug in under the hood to scan the engine codes. And it pulls its power from the battery when you hook it up. So that's why you got this little red plug there, or that red alligator clip. That's where you pull your power from in there. So that's it's nice to have. Really nice to have. I saw some going for even more than that, and they didn't have all the wires, everything else. So, and I don't have any for my model year Dynasties, but this is just, sure, like one of the Chrysler techs would have had this little thing back in the day, and whenever they're looking at codes, they would look at this stuff and say, oh, what's that code? They didn't have the internet back then. But I mean, the scan tool tells them too if they're checking codes. So but yeah, that's for an old Grand Caravan, Voyager, and a Ram van. Forgot about those. Well, that probably would have been like, I don't know. Anyways, getting off topic. Stick that back in there. So basically, the whole deal with this is you grab whichever one you're scanning. We'll just do the one in the tranny. So we'll grab this one, this plug, that you can scan the tranny codes and the BCM with, all that other good stuff. And I think I knocked my plug off the connector where it sits here. At least it's feeling it now. Oh, flip the camera around. So, anyways, you got to see like half my face. You're welcome. You're not missing out on much, I promise you. But let me see. I might have to set this down for a second if I can't get this with one hand. Let me see. Come on. This, I don't know if it's just the connector I got or something else, but always using this connector has always been a pain in the rear. An absolute pain in the rear getting that thing in there. Sometimes it does not want to go. So anyways, this thing won't power on unless you have a cartridge in there as well, which that's where you get to this. You need a certain cartridge for whatever you're going to scan. Sometimes if you're lucky, you know, I didn't get lucky enough to get the version 8.0, but this is 7.0 super cartridge. So this will pretty much scan anything, you know, it's like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, all that stuff from 83 to 93. I think there's one that'll do 83 or like 82 to 95, which is version 8.0. So, but this is all I need, because, you know, that other one I got over there, that's a 93, which I think that one's going to keep the body control module. So I might end up keeping the little plug for the connector for this DRBII as well, so I can still try to troubleshoot stuff with it. And then it'll also have the OBD2 for the Hellcat stuff, so that one will be an interesting kind of fix. That one there. So anyways, so we plug this in, and let's see, plug that in. Got to plug this other connector bit in. And I'm sorry, I'm setting the phone down for a second. There we go. It made a beep. It's doing something, maybe. We'll see. I might not have the connector on there all the way, because sometimes, you know, that one's, no, looks like it's good. So anyways, we'll flip it this way. So we're going to go down to select system. And now this thing isn't smart enough to know what it's plugged into, it seems like. You just have to select the system. Like if I go to engine right now, with the, I don't remember if you have to, I think you have to have the ignition on. I don't know, it'll tell you. But like if I go to engine right now, with it plugged into the connector for the transmission and the body control module, if I remember right, it's just gonna say not, like, no comm or something. It'll basically say that it can't communicate. Well, maybe not. Key on, crank. Yeah, see, no response. Maybe the light makes it hard to see, but basically no response, because it's not plugged into the engine one. You would have to use that other connector I showed you guys under the hood. So anyways, we'll go back, hit ATM to go back, and then we'll go down to, like, say, transmission. This one will work. And you have ETAX. That's the one we want, by the way. If you're doing anything with the A604, that's the one you want, is EATX. AW4, I think that's like one of the ones they put in the Jeeps and stuff, some of the trucks. And then the 42RE as well. That was like most of the Jeeps and the trucks and stuff too. I don't see the 44RE. They must not have started using that yet. Well, yeah, because it's 93, so they only would have had the AW4 for the manual, I think, and then the 42RE for the automatic. So they didn't get, I don't think, or maybe I'm mixing it up. They might have put the 44RE in the 5.9s. I don't remember. But either way, it don't matter. That's irrelevant. We want to go to ATX or EATX. That'd be for the A604 in this car. We'll let it initialize. We'll see if I got it plugged in right. Yeah, it's looking like it. So, and then it lets you scroll through all this, and you can hear the nice beep it makes. I don't know if there's a way to turn that off. I'm sure there probably is, but, you know, me personally, I don't really care. It's just nice to be able to have something. We could read faults. It might give me a fault for the battery being disconnected. Yeah, and that's the only one it is giving me. I did have a fault for it for the transmission a while back, but I cleared it, and, you know, since it's intermittent, you know, it hasn't popped up. So, and I did delete the code, so that's also why you're not seeing that. You're only getting that one fault there. I'm tired, dude. I didn't go to sleep till 4 in the morning. Oh yeah, and then when you back out, it gives you the option to erase or don't erase. I mean, it really doesn't matter. That code's just telling you. The code that was there, all it is telling you that within the past, I believe it's 100 starts, that the battery was disconnected, you know. So, that's really all that's telling you. There's a couple things in here I still haven't figured out. There's like some fancy shit that I'd have to look through this thing to find it, but I don't know if I want to take that long to do that. Yeah, it lets you do all kinds of stuff. Go to like system tests. Go to like shift lever. And press enter. Here, we're in park. Let's press enter. Oh, see, all it's doing is having me select. That's reverse. And we'll go to neutral. And enter. Overdrive. Enter. And drive, or 3 as it says. Enter. And low. And enter. Shift lever test results. Park, reverse, neutral, overdrive, 3, or drive, and then low. Test passed. At least I'm good there. That wasn't my problem though. But yeah, just show you guys, it's all kinds of silly stuff like that. It's not like the OBD2 stuff. This really doesn't seem to tell you too much. At least from my experience, it really doesn't tell you as much as like the OBD2 stuff does. You know, the computers and that usually seem to tell you a lot more too. But aside from that, yeah, that's the whole deal with this. It's nothing too fancy. Just same old stuff, man. Same old stuff. It's nice to have. And they aren't very cheap to find. I mean, they're certainly cheaper than a DRBII now, because the DRBIII is for like the OBD2 stuff for Chryslers, and I think you can use it on the older stuff as well. Those, last time I looked it up, it was you know, a couple grand. Whereas this, I kind of got a steal on it, but it was about like 300, 350 if I remember right for everything. And then I probably spent like another, I don't know, like 40, 50 bucks on cartridges. Because it came with a couple, but it didn't have the super cartridge that I was looking for. So, yeah, it's nice to have though. It's really really helped me out. So, anyways, let me unplug this, and then I think that's really it, man. There's not too much more. It's just been trying to fix these up so I can get to work. And then, you know, because this car actually, it let me down a while back, like a week or two, no, about 2 weeks ago. Had basically, if one thing or the other had gone wrong, you know, I would have made it to work. But both things had gone sideways simultaneously, and that kind of screwed me. So, essentially, the car went in a limp mode, and at the same time, there was an issue with my old alternator that I've since replaced, but it would reach a certain, like, RPM, you know, if you're just cruising along, or, like, like pulling away from a light gently, stuff like that. The alternator would work fine. It'd charge where it needed to charge. But as soon as you'd, give it more than like an eighth or a quarter throttle or like really romp on it, it would start overcharging like a son of a gun. You'd see that voltmeter just max out and everything would get all bright. It'd be like that scene from the movie Christine where like the car's jealous that the dude's like hanging out with the chick, and like you just see the lights get all bright in the car and the radio gets loud. It was kind of like that in here. So eventually it burned through the fusible link and then obviously quit charging, and I still had like 10-15 miles to go to work, and I'm like, well shit. So I kind of got left on the side of the road there for the first time in my life. But that was really only because it went in limp mode and I had to take the highway there. So I'm doing like 60, dang near about. This thing's screaming and the alternator's not happy. It's overcharging like a son of a gun. And eventually once it all got dark, I kind of knew, I'm like, yeah, it burnt that fusible link. So, I once the lights started getting dim and I saw how far I had to go, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna, drive at 5 a.m, can't see nothing, it's not even charging and all this and that. So I ended up having to get a ride, but it's something I should have fixed from the get-go, but I kept putting it off because I'm like, oh, we got to get the project car that doesn't get me to work and make me money. We got to get that done. And, it came back to bite me in my rear. So, I'm about to get this thing sorted. At least I hope so. I'm going to do some diagnosis as well for the, let me think of it. The solenoid pack, or at least the circuit for it. Honestly, I'm just gonna replace it anyways, just cause, why not? It's not that expensive. It's like $150, and I'll troubleshoot. I know which circuit it is. I just have to go online and see, cause the code for it was thrown was for the low range solenoid circuit. So I'm just gonna look that up, see which of those connectors in there it is, and it's beeping at me because my keys are in there still. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little research. I'm gonna see which one of these is that low range solenoid circuit on that connector there for the solenoid pack. I thought about getting all fancy and putting this thing on stands and using the little plugs down there with my hydraulic gauge to see if all the pressures, the PSIs and everything were right. But I'm like, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm kind of lazy sometimes, especially with these things. I just want to slap it together and just send it. But then again, doing that, maybe it'll leave me stranded. I don't know. We'll see. So maybe I'll eat my own words on that. But yeah, I'll probably slap the new one in there anyways, and then I'm gonna trace the circuit, see if it's got continuity, everything else. I'll probably pull all of the wiring conduit off just to see too, because I've done other work on this car for other transmission problems in the past that were solely because of crappy wiring work, where it was for one of the speed sensors and they had soldered the wires together kind of crappy, and the tape that was holding it together over time had gotten hot. They used electrical tape, not heat shrink or something like that, and they didn't like, that's all they used to cover it. It was electrical tape. So as soon as it got hot, after enough years or months or whatever it was, that tape started sliding down, and those two wires for that speed sensor would touch, and that would make the computer think like, oh, the transmission's fucked, because one sensor's telling us it's fine, the other one's like, max value or minimum value, or however that sensor is supposed to work with how much, electrical input it gets from the 5 volt. So it's seeing 5 volts. It's like, well, something's fucked because this isn't 5 volts, but this one is. And, that was a lot of fun. But luckily that was an easy fix. But this one, I just want to go through just to be sure from dealing with past stuff I've seen on this car, just to be sure that it's not something silly too. So we'll see. But either way, yeah, you guys have a good one. I really am itching to work on this thing, believe me. But I gotta get to work. So I need to make sure that this thing is gonna do that for me. So, and if I don't get to work, I can't make money. And if I can't make money, I can't afford to work on this. And I really want to work on this. So, it's just, it is what it is. You gotta do the rational thing first. And the rational thing is getting this thing running, which also, I don't think I even mentioned. I went through and did a bunch of stuff on this, which it doesn't look like it's been leaking at all either. I did all of the, I did the lower plenum, upper plenum for like the intake, everything. All the valve covers, a bunch of other stuff. I went through, you guys saw me in the last one, I think, messing with the power steering. I think there's one little thing I got to do with that. I want to change like that. There's like an orifice fitting in there. I think I'm going to change out. But other than that, I had to put a new rack in there because the old one was shot. I think I showed you guys that too. But yeah, it's coming along, man. It's getting there. It's getting there. We're making her decent again. Because I want to keep driving this thing. Oh, and I found some like rust in there. You can see my real high quality paint work down in there. Definitely didn't get anything in there in that paint. But hey, I figured it's better than bare metal. So cleaned it up, cleaned all the rust up, put some like rust reformer stuff on there, let that sit, and tried to clean it up a little more again, and put some paint over it. Some paint I got that I know is gonna stick like a sumbitch. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, you guys. But I hope you guys take care and enjoyed your April Fools and your Valentine's Day. I don't even remember if I posted before or after Valentine's Day in February, but I didn't post in March, so I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, either way, hope you guys are taking care, and I hope this extra long video was not too bland for you guys. If I had more time, or I guess I should say if I was better at managing my own time, it'd be nice for me to edit these so it's not as cut and dry and just you're watching me do everything and it's not just straight to the point. But whatever, it is what it is. Maybe if I get more fancy or something, or can I don't know, make more than 5-10 minutes a day to edit videos, then then maybe I'd do something a little nicer. But I don't know, we'll see. So at least for now, you guys will just get the raw, uncut version, and hopefully YouTube's algorithm doesn't mind a swear word or here or there. But I mean, let's be honest, I'm not making money from this, so who cares? I'd say whatever I want on here. but it's the internet, so be careful. Don't say something unless you're ready for it. But either way, hey, you guys take care, and hope you all are doing well. Hopefully you guys at least enjoyed something that I showed you today. Maybe even that scan tool there. Don't see those too often. But yeah, you guys take care and have a good one. I need to get to this and get her done. So you guys take care. Peace.